Good morning, 6:08 a.m., Sunday, October 21st, 2018, Eastern Standard Time. Let's take a look. Okay, we're at the gate to 450, and it looks like the manipulator does not like that. Again, you observe the order book, 6, 5, 27. These orders we know will disappear or appear when this wall shows up. I think it's an attempt to legitimize it. It's a really stupid attempt. When you average these out, it comes down to around, the average is 1 Bitcoin. So this is way above the average by 2,700%. This is manipulation. It's based on that reason because it's unusual activity compared to the book. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, you have these exceptions, but since the usual order is very small, you see, you'll have and then when you add them all up and you divide them by the number of orders, you come out with the average of 1 Bitcoin. Go on this side, 2 and 1, 2, but more than usual orders are much smaller than 1. You average that out, that absolutely comes to 1 Bitcoin. So this is still being manipulated. They're trying to cap this from going over 450. So let's go over to a Tether dollar for dollar match. Okay. Notice that we're at $6,631 and climbing. Notice there isn't a huge spike as per se over here, because this is a battle of manipulators, bull versus bears. This is just normal everyday market. We don't see no huge sell walls stacked up against the little guy, and we don't see no huge orders stacked up against anybody that'd be shorting. Even though you couldn't short the USDT, that's why I think it performs better. Maybe you can, I don't know. Or you could short Bitcoin, but I think it's highly unlikely a fiat trader would come in here and mess with this market, because again, if he gets this big spike and he sells, he still has to sell that USDT, and anything might happen to that USDT. Price might go down, and all your shenanigans are useless. Sorry, it is 6 a.m. Okay, let's go back to the manipulated market. Let's just correct this. Sub should take off today. It's on Subcoin, which is my favorite altcoin. I think it's really undervalued. They had tested the nose in China. They were able to get through the Great Firewall of China. They did it live. They recommended that people in China do not do it because they still want to make sure that masking that this software will provide works. It's really, really good news. The internet now is going to be unrestricted. We can talk to each other anywhere in the world. Where politicians beat each other over the head with laws, we begin a relationship with people directly from each country over the network. I think that's going to do a lot for bringing civility into the world. It really will. You got a problem with some governments you usually talk to the people over there and they say, hey, these Americans aren't really bad people. It's just the governments that are acting like buttholes. And then they'll go in the streets, nah, we don't want no war in America. We know people over there. It's not necessary for us to have war. If you guys want to have a war, we'll go to we'll bring you to an arena someplace. We'll give you all the weapons and you just can go at it. Leave the rest of us alone. Fighting over the fishbone market. Let's have a war. Okay, Litecoin now. Crypto's gonna bring the world together, not to buy it up in classes. Okay, we see. Well, the sell wall should have changed. This is a new week. It should have changed. So we gotta hunt those sell walls out. The last ones were 23.73 spot 11. This might possibly be the 23.73 spot 11 with another trade embedded it with this price. And over here as well at the 53.11, 23.73 spot 11. But we're not going to know that until we watch this for a while. Now you notice if he does not move this market kettling cap up, the price will only trade between those two walls. Here, this might even be the new one. I don't know until you have to sit here for a while and observe 24.01.31. No, it's not 24.01 spot 31 because we don't have a trade that's close or over that or around the same number. It's under. So it might be 23.85.14. But again, let's sit here and look for it a while. We'll spot this manipulation in here. You could tell because the price of Bitcoin is going up. They're sitting on top of the price of Litecoin because they've been beaten at Bitcoin. See how they're trying to drop the price. The magical number here is 450 today. And these two manipulators are going at it. Meanwhile, where there's no manipulation, which is on the Tether market, which everybody says Tether is bad. I haven't seen them do one misstep yet. The only thing is that unfortunately they had a bank in Puerto Rico that willingly accepted them because they were in financial trouble. So getting a huge deposit like that was a big help to keep that bank solvent. So they might have lied to Tether, got them to go over there to keep the bank solvent. Tether seen the financials, they pulled out and went to the Bank of Communications of China. Bank of Communications of China, I had some dealings with them when I was international banking. They've been around a long, long time. And I don't think they're going to go anywhere soon. And again, being that it's a fact it's a Chinese bank, they're over-regulated. Their restrictions are much, much higher than, say, Hong Kong, Shanghai Banking Corp. So if Tether was going to be trying to go in there and say, yeah, we got 300 million, a billion Tether out there, of course, the Bank of Communications internal office, then you want to do business here, 1 billion in the bank right now. You can't do that with the Chinese. In other words, the restrictions on a communist bank are much higher than, say, on a capitalist bank. So stability-wise, the government owns them and regulates them. So stability-wise, even if they get in trouble, you know that the government's going to bail them out. There is no arguments or anything. It's immediate. It's actually safer for Tether to be in a communist bank rather than a capitalist bank. But then, for an individual, that situation's much different. If you're an individual who looks for a better life, you don't want to be communist. It's the two trains of thought: it's the communist and capitalism. Somebody who just wants to have a good life, a decent life handed to them, just for the basics, or somebody who aspires to be more than that. They don't want to be just a small cog in a massive machine. Capitalism gives you the opportunity to move out. That's what I want to do. I want to move up the ranks. I want to get a better house, a better car. My daughter go to a better school, to assure the future of my gene pool. Capitalism is just a better situation. If you think that far ahead, most people, they're just content of having video games to play, cigarettes to smoke, a little alcohol, and a little rotten crotch, and they're okay. Let's see what's going to happen today. You see, yesterday you poked its head above 450. Today you just tapped it. The manipulators here on the short side know that, and they're going to fight you all the way. But you see that the resistance is a lot less than 80 coin, because he's been losing. I would say he's been losing since October 20th. You see? So now he's like, I'll try to seize control of it, but putting 80 coin up there might be detrimental to my financial health. Because they've been slow, the slow trickle, I call this. I've seen this before. This is unrelenting buys. Tick, 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 small ones, but constantly just, it's like rain. Sure, you could throw a bucket of water at somebody to wet them, right? But if you do the slow trickle, like a rainstorm, you could flood a river. That's what's happening right now. And that's constant tick, tick up, tick, tick. Then you bring it down, $5. That's it, I've done my job. And then it tick, tick, right back up. That's what's going on in the background. And then you got other traders who'll come in and make large purchases when they see it going up. And always in the back is that little drop of sand going through the hourglass, gaining momentum, piling up higher and higher. If they did it here, they did it here. They're going to do it here. They're going to go up, run it sideways, a little decrease, back up. You notice the bars are getting closer. Run it up, go sideways, run it up. And then it's going to go a little bit. The time invertals are increasing. Or no, actually decreasing. Between rises up. You see? I do believe that the person that was on this side with the huge amount is now putting it on this side to drive it up. He got his coin, now he wants to make a killing. I think it'll go right back up to, I think this time we're going to see a market cap of $1 trillion. I think you're going to finally see that. Market cap of $1 trillion worldwide is nothing. Nothing. A market cap worldwide for anything is nothing. The United States alone is $21 trillion in debt. Most of these companies that you got all over the world, $1 trillion worldwide is nothing. And then once this hits the trillion, you'll see 2, 3, 10. You're going to see a lot of people become very rich from crypto. Like you said, this is in its infancy. 1% of the people know about this. Now what's going to happen is more people are going to know about this as institutions been opening up, like Fidelity, and start offering it. And then when people are going to just say, well, just what is this offer you got here? And Fidelity, hopefully they'll have somebody there that can explain it, and then that's going to start spreading. That's how it's going to start spreading, is through the institutions, because they have the marketing and advertising money to pass this up along, and it's going to eventually go. It's going to burst. Things like Litecoin are going to explode because people are like, well, I don't want to take a big risk. Bitcoin is kind of costly. Let's go down here. What do you got? What do you got in the market? Well, I got these small caps which aren't doing too well. Okay, what's this? That's ETC. What was it when it first opened? $10. Nah, I don't want to touch that. Which one you got that's balanced? Well, we have LTC. It's been up to $368. It's $52 now, and it hasn't been lower than $48. Litecoin is the right coin, like J Snip, Ben, and Bixware say. Right now, I'm working on trying to help you guys find that manipulation. Well, I think it's 20. This looks like it. 2401 spot 31. Now, what do I say that? You look for the largest wall. There it is on the sell side. It's easier to spot on the sell side because there's not really any. There isn't any other larger walls than this. So you go to 2401 spot 31. And then you have this one over here, 2403 spot 56. So if that turns to 20, if it moves up and down, you see it's 2401 spot 31, or somebody takes their trade out of it that's embedded with it, then we'll be able to make a confirmation that this is still being manipulated and which walls are actually causing the manipulation. Which walls are the part of the kettle trade. But when you see a double wall stacked like this, they're definitely aiming to push this price up, I think. But this hasn't reacted to the input right now of being driven up. It was above 53. What did it hit? 53 is the magic number. But this is heavy manipulated. They don't want to give it up. They have to have something to short. They just lost Bitcoin. From the 20th, they lost it. Actually, they lost this from the 19th. Okay? The Bears lost control of this on the 19th. So it's been 2 days. But to really for the Bulls to really take over this market, I would have to say we would have to, if I was coming in, since this is heavily manipulated, I don't know if the bull manipulator is serious or not. $7,000. Then I would say he's serious. Because he took it from, I would say anywhere from 7,400 to be on the safe side. And this is not with using any RSI. This is from using manipulation. I'm looking to see who can give a more accurate report. I know I follow the RSI, but I'm doing an experiment. I'm going to say, if I follow the manipulation that I know of, that I uncovered, I should be able to follow the market. And going from what I see, this huge buy wall up here is constantly appearing for the past, since the 19th. I'm saying that the bull manipulators are going to push this market up higher. Sans not using the RSI, EMAs, to send bear flags, bull flags. I'm going to see if that can be done. Now, it can't be done here. This one you have to use the RSI because there is no manipulation. So this one you have to use your technical analysis. But to use technical analysis on fiat, no. Especially in a heavily manipulated market. It just defeats the purpose. You just can't do it. It can go 180 degrees. You can sit here for all day looking at figures, RSIs, and then bang. The manipulators, all the signals could say it's going up, but the manipulator says, you know what? I want cheap point. Bang, all your technical analysis is useless. It's like bringing a sledgehammer to drive a tack in the wall. You see? He's going to drive it up. There's no resistance. The other manipulator, if there is, or if this is the individual that was manipulating it down, decided it's time to take profit, you don't know. But also I can tell you right now, I see a huge buy order that's 7,700% above the usual market order. You can see it. Some of these aren't even, most of these aren't even 1 Bitcoin. That's how you can tell it's manipulated. A large, unusually large compared to the market average purchase, placed at the highest price possible. People are going to have to buy over him, and he'll buy into the market too. We're having a little problem meeting 450, but then we had a little problem getting up to 6,400, but no, we went past it. Now, I'm going to go to the reason why I use the RSI on the manipulated market, just to see when the rest of the people are going to become behind the manipulator. And you can actually see, I think we're going to see a repeat. I see a repeat forming here. Here, this right here. You see? Went down, it's slightly up to the 50. It'll go down a little bit, and then it's going to bang up hard. You can see the same pattern. It descended down. It descended down. It started creeping up, and then whammo. See? So how long did this last? I say today about if the bot is following the same cycle. You see the time on that. Well, let me see from downtrend to uptrend. How many hours? That's 8 o'clock at night. Right on schedule. These guys go on schedule. 8 o'clock at night. I want to 4, 10, 5 days. Business days. 5 business days. So we start over. Now where would we start? I would start from here. The 18th. 5 days. 24. This is going to keep going up for 4 days, and I think we're going to get a large rush up again. Let's see what happens. Because everything goes in cycles. And the RSI is hit its low. And if you compare the RSI rise along the chart up to 50, it's comparative to being right about here. So right now we're about here in this rush, this bum rush up. We're right about there. From the 14th to the 15th. Yeah, today. I expect it today. If you follow a pattern, you can see it. We're right about on the 50. It could be today or 3 days from now. See, it's kind of hard to do it with this because this started at a lower price. So did this. They're just about the same. So it appears to be at the beginning of the cycle. Then it's hitting 50, so it's right about here. Then we get that big spike. So look for another one of these to pop its ugly head up. This might actually be the beginning of it. Yeah, you lowered it down again. There's absolutely resistance to keep it under 6,450 by the manipulator. He comes in and he throws a huge order when it starts hitting 6,450. See? Notice how this one came off and it went over there. It looks like bot trading between each other. I'm starting to think this is an account that washes itself up or down, like over here. You see that trade? I think it's embedded in here. The market size changed today. So it's 2401, spot 31. And more or less he's doing the same thing on both of these currencies, except his method of approach on this is different, where he puts his order, you see. Now look, that one disappeared and this one came back. I'm starting to think that this is a more sophisticated way of doing a kettle trade. If the exchanges have any brains, if they want to survive in the future, I mean, if you want to make more money, I don't see how people wouldn't want to make more money. You lost your business index fund. You sacrificed your lower cap customers by manipulating the market down to attract institutional investors. They come in the market, it's at the low. We got this institutional fund all set up for you, this index fund. And I think that's what they did. They lowered the price. Look, it's like at the beginning, when we retrace right to the beginning. Come in and put your money up, and we can pump this up to the moon and make a killing. But the institutions said, no, not with you. Run along, kid. Run along. We'll set up our own. You set up a business, right? The people have money and have been in business for years. So you want to come in and entice them to join in crypto and putting money into your exchange. And these guys have been running exchanges, dealing with exchanges, finances exchanges on the normal market. And you're the guy with the big pipe dream. Well, look at me, I'm impressive. I'm going to open up this exchange, and I want you to come in and take your institutional money and dump it in here so I can become very wealthy. And you too could too by trading crypto when you pump it up to $1 trillion market cap. And they just probably looked at each other, son, we'll open up our own exchange and we'll take all the money. That's what happens when you're nouveau rich. You don't realize these guys, way before you even woke up, you're still in financial diapers compared to them. Yeah, come over and invest in our own exchange and you'll make millions of dollars. They're like, we'll open our own exchange and we'll make billions, trillions of dollars. Get out of here. I think that's honestly what happened with this index fund. They had high hopes they're going to get people like BlackRock to come in and invest in this little startup exchange that only popped its head up in 2009. If it's that, these guys will open up their own exchange. They pulled your best people already out from underneath you. Bach, they already got Adam White. They're gonna open up their own exchange. What do you think? They didn't talk to Adam? They're like, what are you working for this clown for? His market's manipulated. The Coinbase is under subpoena. You got every agency after them under the earth. Come over here. Come with us. We'll take you. That's what happened. People are going to go. When he looked over the fence, he seen greener grass. He jumped over the fence. All you people are going to go. They look at these people in the office know what's going on. They see you guys manipulating the market, doing kind of funny stuff, people complaining. You know, they'll sit down in the office late as night when there's nobody there and going to say, you know something, I might not be working on a place that's 100% on the up and up. What will that do to my career after, you know, if these guys are already subpoenaed? And and I'm looking at the evidence of these people accusing you of being involved in market manipulation, or you're letting market manipulation run rampant and you can't really do anything about it. And you're not doing anything about it. I can go to an SC regulated exchange, or I could stay here. When this gets rated, my name gets tarnished from you guys being unprofessional. No, you know what? Let me look what this guy is saying. Oh my God, there's a high probability that he's right. Let me get out of here. That's what happens. That's how you lose your key and best people. It's just sometimes, you know, if you focus on money, you got to realize people who maybe are not as affluent as you don't focus on money as much as you do. There's actual morals and values interwoven in there. You know, a happy human balance. So, yeah, this is being manipulated. I can tell you right now. The walls are still there. Now it's just up to debate or a little observation in a little time. And I think that it's 24. Look, 24/11/31. It was 24:01 and change. I think it's around 24:01 and change. But again, no, it's 24:03 and 11. Let's look. This one went to 24:03. So it's 24:03:11. You write this down. So we're going to spot the manipulation. We're going to see how easy it is to spot, how I do it, to help other people do it. Now we know there's two of the largest market sizes we're going to go. So I think it's 24:03 spot 11. So we're going to look. Sooner or later, both of these walls will be in sync because there'll be no underlying or overlie trades in there at the same price, and they'll be exposed. And then based on not using technical analysis, but based on watching the manipulation walls up and down, I should be able to tell you, based on my principles, that manipulation's controlling the market and causing the figures in the RSI, the EMAs, and all that stuff to move. You might be better to look at the direct cause of the manipulation disease, which is the order book, and be able to judge where the price is going based on what the manipulating trades are doing for the day. So in other words, you're sitting there looking at all these graphs, and then this market goes 180 degrees contrary to the evidence you have on the graphs. You might be better looking at the source that actually gives the information for those graphs. You're looking at the effect. I'm looking at the cause. I'm looking at the first page. You're looking at the last page. If you read in the first page, you might be able to be able to predict better what's going to happen on the last page and benefit from it. It is in the I think it is in the 2400 range. So we're down to that now. Now we have to see how far we go. But for some reason, I don't 24/11/31. Nah, I've seen it down to 24:03. We have to wait. There might be a trade on it. You see, 2403. This one was 20 in the 2403 range. So now we're just down to getting it down to the correct sense. I think it's 2403.11. Again, like I said, there's another trade that was on top of it or under it at the same price. So it's going to change the number. That's why I wish you can click on here and see the breakdown of the trades at that price. And then you'd be able to spot the manipulation walls easier. So I'm saying you can use both of these methods together and guide yourself into the possibility of making profits a higher percentage of the time. In other words, you can use like that crypto trading, all their market numbers, right? You lose all their market numbers. And then you learn the pattern here of the manipulation trades on top of that, right? Learn that when they bring this manipulation wall up toward the epicenter, that the price is going to go up. Learn when they bring this sell wall down to the epicenter, which is this USD spread, the price is going to go down. If they move both of them, it's definitely going to go down. But when they move it up and down, they're either putting buy or sell pressure. But if they just want the market to plain move up in price, they move both walls up. If they want it to go down, they move both walls down. That changes this epicenter and changes the price that's going to be around the epicenter. It's like an accordion. So far, I think it's 2403.11. So you might have to use this in addition to your daily market analyst, your TNA. I think this is, I would say, between both of them, the technical analysis and the manipulation analysis. You have to do a TA and an MA, okay? This is what we're going to formulate now, guys. A TA and an MA. And I say the MA is 70% and the TA is 30% of your decision. So based on those two type of analysis, your manipulation analysis and your technical analysis, you have to have that manipulation analysis in there. And I'm providing the manipulation analysis, how it's manipulated, how it works, how the trades are moved, and when you see them move, what the results are going to be. You guys got to add this in. Now we go over to Bitcoin. You see, my analysis says, hey, look, this heavy buy wall just keeps coming back, and the sell walls keep disappearing, right? Or they're smaller than usual, or they're non-existent today. I'm observing that. That's my manipulation analysis. Then I go over here and look at the RSI, right? The RSI is my technical analysis. I say, wow, it's down around here. It was down around here. Now it's up to here. This is what happened last time. This is a bear market, a bull market now, transitioning. Well, this possibility of this repeating itself again. Okay, that's what I'm basing. So where's it gonna go? Look. So it's a possibility they're gonna do a big bull breakout, as they did here. It looks like to me it's duplicating again. It's right about was here versus here, that dip there versus this dip there, right? Now remember, this is only my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. But we get that in there. Now we're right about here. You see? You see that dip? We're right about here. So I'm thinking we're going to go down some, and then we're going to shoot up. It's going to duplicate, because that's what robots do. They repeat a job over and over and over and over. If this is a robot market, it's just going to repeat. I'm also thinking it might be possible to get a bot to use Tether to trade. I'm just saying that's why it's not manipulated. That's a theory. Maybe they can. Maybe somebody could watch my video and let me know. Give me some more information. And then I can move on from there. But as I can see, it looks like the bull market, or the trader prefers, let's just say the manipulation trader prefers a bull market. The manipulating trader decides what he feels like when he wants to take profit. You got to remember, this is the beginning of the end of the last quarter. If you've been manipulating all year, you got to show profit if you're business orientated at the end of the year to see that your business plan was successful. And most businesses operate in 3-month quarters. And this would be the 10th. Yeah, the beginning of October was the beginning of the last quarter. So now he has to show profit for all his work he did. You got to remember, he dumped a lot of coin. He spent a lot of money working this market down since January after he hit the peak. So now he's probably going to try a repeat performance. Nope. It's still 23.73.11. The lazy trader has not changed his. If this trader is looking to give me more evidence about manipulation, he just did, because now he's over 10 days. Yeah, so the market, buy and sell wall that hasn't changed. So he's probably embedded in here. I showed you this sell wall. He's going to, you see what's happening? It's closer to the epicenter. What's happening to the price? It's going down. This is how I've been coordinating my technical analysis and my manipulation analysis. You have to have two analyses to survive in this environment. You see, I call this the epicenter, right? Now, based on how close this is to the epicenter, that's how I can tell how much buy pressure is being exerted. And then if you notice, when this is closer to the epicenter, the way you can even it out, open notice to USD spread, you have it zeroed in, and you can see this on the exposed order book. That means they're trying to bring the price down, right? Now, if you don't see this anymore, and it's way up there, and you see this 23.73 spot 11 currently get closer to the epicenter, that means the price is going to go up. But right now, it's a downer. Let's see. Oh, let's see if he moved it. If he doesn't move this wall, you're not going to see $53. That's why we haven't been seeing 53. We've been struggling to get to 53 because he's blocking it with this manipulation wall. These things have been over here past 10 days. Now it's going on now it's on 2 weeks. The same trade. And it doesn't get bought or sold. Now say if it starts running up and they buy through all of this, right? This looks like, more I look at it, it looks like he's selling this stuff. I don't know. Well, all I know is when this is closer to the epicenter, the price is staying down. If this does not move up, we're never going to see above 53. Last night, what happens if there's a lot of buy pressure and we start buying up and we approach this? He takes this off. He doesn't sell it. The same thing. If the sell pressure brings it down, he takes it off. Right? Like for example, over here. You see? And then after the market does whatever it does, exhausts itself in the bull or the bear run, he comes back in, he puts these walls back in, and then he pulls it back to this price again. Right here. He retracts it. I don't know who's doing his trades, but they're there. These are kettling trades. And they've been up there an awfully long time. The one on the bottom, the 2373.11, originally started at $57. Now it was down as low as $50, and he just moved the trade. He just never bought anything. He just moved the same market size too. Even though the price changed, he kept the same market size, just so he can keep track of the kettling trades. If you're looking to buy something with a set amount of money, when you come in at a lower price, you usually get more of the coin, because the price is lower. No, that's not his intention, is to get more coin at a lower price. You understand? What he does, he needs to keep track of his spread between his walls. So he has to put the same market size so he can see them. Or if he's getting orders from above, well, you put this number in today at the sell wall and the buy wall, and I'll just look at it and see what's going on and wait for my further instructions. The person putting up these trades might just be a robot that he gave those instructions to, or a human being. In this case, I think it's a human being, and they're just doing what they're told. You see, there's no manipulation on the tether side. See, that's right there. You can see that's manipulation. A lot of people are like, how can you tell that's manipulation? Well, I go by what the SEC does. When the SEC sees a very unusual, does a market average size trade and sees an unusually large order, a phone call goes out. That's an unusually large order. When you do the average here, it's one coin. That's 3,000% above the average. Don't you think that should ring a bell? This is what I don't understand. These guys come in this market at the bottom, so they haven't been able to lose anything. Even up to this point, they've learned the market at the bottom, so they're not going to lose anything. If you come from a traditional market where this stuff is frowned upon, stopped, where law enforcement would get involved if you did something like this. So since they think it's unregulated, no, it's a beginning market that the regulations haven't had a chance to get up to speed, to see what kind of regulation, to identify what kind of security this is, and then to apply the right regulations that belong to it. That's what was wrong. Don't say the market's not regulated, or state that the market's unregulated. No. The big boys that sit up in those white towers were deciding, well, just how will this be regulated? And the decisions came through. It's a security. Why? The Howey test. It's all up there. The federal judges ruled on it on September 11th. This right here now, the SEC's got jurisdiction over. And if anybody at the SEC sees this, that's manipulation. How does the SEC spot manipulation? Well, let's go to the order book. Let's see what the average order is. You don't think an order that's 2,900% over the average market size order, posted at the lowest possible price, isn't going to catch their eye? And it's been reported to you, Coinbase. It's been reported to Coinbase over and over by myself. And I'm sending the reports to the agencies involved. Here's me reporting it. Here's me reporting it. Look, here's the manipulation. I'll explain what they're doing. Here's me reporting it again. Here's the manipulation. Here's me reporting again. Here's me asking for arbitration. Here's me not getting no reply to any of my arbitration letters. Okay, let's go. Which arbitration court do you want to go to? Who's your lawyer's name? Nothing, nothing, nothing at all. I'm over here. Maybe we don't have to arbitrate. Maybe they'll be gentlemen. They'll come out of the bar for a while. Okay, Mr. Russo, you got ample evidence here. We're not going to fight you because you know we're going to lose. No, over here it's like, how long can we keep this running before we get dragged into court? That's what's going on here. What's the risk? Oh, we made $66 billion. They'll make us pay $100 million fine. No, the DOJ is involved in this. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get that slap in the wrist. This is crypto. You are not that type of person they're going to go easy on. You're not Ivan Boesky. You're not Michael Milken. Those people went to cocktail parties with politicians and lawyers. You're not up in those ranks, Mr. Armstrong. You're not up there. Fred Ersham is not up in there. Adam White knew he wasn't up in there. That's why he left. Something very bad's going to happen to you because you're doing bad things to good people. It's just karma. Now look at this market, how it's manipulated. Usually it goes the same way as Bitcoin. But since they lost Bitcoin, right, they're over here trying to keep their little short paradise going, the manipulation scam going on Litecoin because it's cheaper. You see, they're working off the 1 hour. They don't want this EMA 12 to stay over the 26 on the hourly. They're trying to bend it back under. They're trying to bend the rails to get the train off the track. These are the train tracks. They're bending the rails to get the train off the track. The train could either be a bear or a bull market. In this case, they're bending the rails to get the train onto the bull track. In this case over here, they're trying to bend the rails to get the train on the bear track. They pretty much, you notice this gap is getting wider and wider. You see, on the EMA 12 and the 26. If the 12 keeps diverging up from the 26, that means you're going into a bull market. They know that. They're trying to converge them together, converge, and then switch positions. Same thing over here. Converge almost to the convergence and switch directions. That's what the manipulation is doing. And then your technical analysis is going to say bear market. I'm already ahead of that. I see them trying to converge it. Using force to converge it. Again, I say these are pressure. They're putting pressure on these EMA 12s to converge, to come together. A bull market forces them open. Even a bear market could force them open too. But a bear market, the orange would be over the gray. The 26 would be over the 12. And then separation occurs. And on a bull market, the 12 is over the 26, and when they separate it goes more into a bull market. So now they're trying to converge and invert them. Converge and invert them. They're trying to do that here. I think what you're going to see now is a big green bar is going to pop up. A large one. So again, you're going to need two types of analysis to survive on the Coinbase Pro market. You're going to need a manipulation analysis, an MA, and you're going to need a technical analysis, which you can't really do on Coinbase Pro. No wonder why you don't put it. I have to use something else. I don't use this for the price. I use this just for the RSI. And then the rest of the other analysis, we have plenty of young people on YouTube who do that for me for free. I'm very thankful. If the market does go up, I will show my gratitude to them. Maybe I'll give them a few Litecoin just for their hard work. Just doing those graphs alone is worthy of something from somebody. But I'm going to have to hit a large bull swing to give it to him. The Moon does good graphs. I like his graphs, and Kirby crypto trading. His graphs and Moon's are the most informative. I don't agree with some of the stuff that he says, but his graphs are pretty good. Sometimes you just could turn off the sound, pause it, and take a look at the graph yourself. That helps you a lot. And you don't have to spend hours over here drawing lines all over the place. Crypto TV, his graphs are pretty decent if you want to see the descending triangle and the support triangle, two converging lines that make a triangle. He's good for that. And also when there's a break at the bottom of the triangle or the top, he's good for that. Now you can see they're trying to bend it back, trying to converge. DMA 12 and the 26 to invert it. But I think we're just at this point again. Let's see. It's just going to go back up. You notice that the buy walls aren't as heavy as they were a couple of days ago when he had one up there for 117. He knew the rally was beginning, so he placed a wall of 117 Bitcoin when I noticed at 4 a.m. in the morning. And that wall was 11,700% over the average market order. If you were on any stock market, I think in the world that was regulated, if you were dazing and your boss would be like slapping your head, don't you see that? Don't you see that? Even this right now is 3,400, 3,500 times over the average market order. That should be ringing a bell. That's how you see manipulation. Unusually large orders at a significant price range. And what's more significant than being at the lowest price possible in an attempt to get the price to go down? And it goes the other way too. So this is what I call an ascending chain sell wall, where they'll dump into the market, and those trades that they're using to dump into the market are chained to this trade. Then after they dump into the buys, then they reestablish this wall at a lower price. That's a descending chain sell wall. It's chained to the dump. And then once the dump is done and you have some BS trades put in, you see he just did it. You see how it floated? It just descended lower, didn't it? It was chained to those other trades that dumped into the buy walls. Now that he's got the price lower, he chains it back at the end again. Well, this is why he removes it. Because the other manipulators say, no, I want it to go up. I don't give a shit if you're overbought in shorts today, son. You see, right back. I honestly think it's the same trader playing a little sick game. Because these bots interact with each other way too fast. You see how he dropped the price down? And now watch what happens with the wall. You see the wall removes itself from the higher price and goes down to the new low price. That's market manipulation. That's just clear and present. He's chopping it down a little bit at a time. And you can see why he's doing that, because look at the buy pressure. Buy pressure and sell pressure. When you see buy pressure where they're buying, you will see this appears to be like a gas pedal with somebody pushing their foot on it, getting the buys going. And it goes here the same way. If you want the brake, this is the gas, this is the brake. How's that analogy? You want to slow the market down and bring the price to a halt and reverse it? You got to step on the brake, squish this down. You want the market to go up, you got to step on the gas. But this is manipulation right here. Even though this doesn't look like much compared to this market, compared to the average market order, the small guy, this is 2,800 times, 3,000 times over the average market order. This is somebody using the weight of their wealth to control the market. This is the purest example of manipulation by somebody who has more money than you do, or more coin in this case. And then he pushes it this way. This is manipulation. This should not be allowed. This is actually prohibited by Coinbase terms of use. And here is the person who's manipulating the market to his heart's content. Gets reported. Coinbase Pro drags their feet. Why? Because this guy pays a lot of fees. He does a lot of buys and sells. He's paying a lot of fees. Do we suspend his account? No, we don't want to lose the fees. Do we help the other people that he's manipulating out of money? No, those people don't pay a lot of fees. That's their business model right there. Whether it's legal or not doesn't bother them. They don't care. What can happen if we get caught? Well, we made $66 billion if we get caught. Even if we pay back the small to medium cap trader, we still got $65 billion. So of course they're going to keep doing it. What needs to happen is something very shocking. You're not just shaving their profit, because that's not going to stop them. Once they realize that happens, they're just going to keep going and pay their fine as a ticket to get into the door. That's all it's going to be to them. Pay your ticket to get into the arena. Yeah, here's the pay. So, no, somebody has to go to jail and the assets have to be seized. Then the next guy later is going to say, you know something, if I come into this arena to play this game, it might cost me everything I have. They're not going to do it. I better go join the rest of the people and just do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, this is absolutely manipulative. You notice something? First it happened to Litecoin, then it happened to so his robot is it's following the same algorithm, but it's out of phase. Wow, these dumps here were pretty brutal. But these dumps are needed to get to converge these EMAs to reverse it into a bear market. The manipulator's not happy about it. But he hasn't changed his manipulation walls value, just their position. That's how you manipulate the market. You change the you're manipulating Wall's price, and you manipulate the market. You also manipulate the volume. You take it off, it looks like a buy market. You take this one off, it looks like a sell market. He's got the best of both worlds. Moving it around manipulates the price. That's how you manipulate the price and the volume to the order book. The order book shows you that there's manipulating trades in there. You better believe the market's manipulated. That's all it is. This is so easy. This is like, I don't know why people get confused, because you know what it is? There's so much data on this page. And if you're inexperienced, you don't know where to look. Okay? You don't know where to look. This is the outcome of the book. Okay? This is what's going on. Buying and selling. So you leave this out. This is the after effect of the manipulation. This is the death of the patient. Okay? You don't know what disease is affecting the patient. Okay? So we all know every disease eventually will kill you. So we're not going to look over here. We're a doctor. Here goes the heartbeat of the market. Okay? Here's the blood pressure of the market, above and below. Okay? Here's, stick out your tongue. Let's check your heart rate. Oh wow, look at this. Where's this pressure coming from? There's something wrong. Here's the average pressure of everybody else that's in a good health. Here's the bad pressure. Okay? You have erratic pressure when it keeps going on and off, on and off. Think of it that way. That will help you get a grasp if you don't have no actual experience in the market. You're checking the market health. Is the market health bad or good? If you're a shorter, reading these diagnostics, it looks in your favor. If you're going long, you see a big number up here, no number up here, your prognosis is good. Okay? But when you see something that's out of the normal range of your health or market, there's something going on. If the pressure's off on one side or the other. And when you have a variable, like in somebody's blood pressure, where one of them is way higher than the other one, above the average pressure, you know there's something wrong with the person's health. Something's manipulating the person's health. That's the best analogy I can make for people that's easy to understand. And right here, on both sides, if you see large above average orders placed at the highest or lowest price possible, it's manipulation. It's just pure and simple. That's how you do it. SGC does the same thing. What's the average market order? We see a huge dump. You know, a large, if everybody's selling one or two, and then you see 100. Somebody at the SCC, hey, what's going on here? What is this? One of the traders is going to notice and call up the SEC. I don't know. I guess you can call this the manipulators war. The bull and bear manipulators are at it. You don't see that over here? Where do you see, Lord, where do you see this small little piddly links? 8. Somebody's selling into it. There's no manipulation over here if you compare it to this market. Look at this 14 coin, that's considered low. 1,500% over the average market order. Nah, that shouldn't ring a bell. Alright guys, it looks like again, what did we learn today? Today we learned we have to do an MA, a manipulation analysis, and a TA if you're going to trade on Coinbase Pro. And today it looks like the manipulation to go up is stronger than the manipulation to go down. Even though there are attempts to bring it down, it's weak compared to of the usual activity you've seen from a person trying to drive it down. Now we're only seeing 32 coin as opposed to 80 to 117 of 100 a couple of days ago. Now we're seeing on the buy side 80, 70 coin. We just seen that. So it appears that the manipulators on the bull side are actually stronger or willing to extend themselves further, we should say. to make the market go up, and the bears that are willing to extend themselves to make it go down by the market size orders. So I'm going to post this up to anybody at the Attorney General office. A fond hello. I'm working hard. If you don't understand anything, I will give you more information. That's why I'm not sure if you guys have any trading experience. So I'm explaining it in layman terms for you guys to easily understand it. If you're missing anything and you need help with anything, feel free to call anytime. So you can do a comparison between these two markets where the price is higher. You don't see huge walls over here on either side. Over here, you see a huge wall. That's manipulation because it's out of the context of every other market. You see? Everybody's playing the same game, okay? But here we have unusual activity compared to everybody else, okay? This is where the manipulation is then. They know it. They've been told. All right, let me put this up.